Are you afraid to speak in another language? Today I'm sharing the 5 mindset shifts that took me from nervous beginner to confidently jumping between 7 languages. By the end of this video, you will have practical techniques to overcome speaking anxiety and start authentically expressing yourself in any language. Hello friends of the world, which country do you see this video from? Where is your home? You're here with me, hello, I'm your trusted multilingual cat. I got to jump from room to room knowing 7 languages. When you discover what those life-changing mindset shifts are, you're gonna be able to jump from room to room as well. It's gonna get very juicy. First, let's talk about why we feel this fear of speaking when entering a conversation. Why is it that when someone speaks to us in a language that we understand, like Spanish, but when it's our turn to speak, we suddenly freeze? First of all, I want to tell you that this is normal and it happens to the majority of people. And that fear that you're feeling is probably an indication that you fear of being judged and you fear of making mistakes. You're probably saying to yourself, what if I'm wrong? They're going to judge me and they're going to laugh at me. I want to tell you first of all that mistakes are the most vital part of language learning. And why is that? Because when you make a mistake, you don't have to stay there committing the same error again and having a faulty speech. But you can get feedback and improve the speech immediately after committing a mistake. And this signalizes that making a mistake equals to learning. You learn from your mistakes and down the line you carry out your learning. That's why we need to engrave the super golden rule in our head that mistakes equal to learning. I want you to make the super big mindset shift right now and later put it into practice when I give you the routine you can follow along today. I give you the routine to spice up your language progress right now. I also want to tell you that you are committing an act of courage. You are learning a language right now and that catapults you out of your comfort zone. You are leaving this little house that you already know and you are stepping out way further and exploring all of the possibilities. You're ringing at new doorbells, you're standing on new welcome mats. What happens if you commit an error? Literally nothing happens. Maybe there's a giggle or two, but there's no risk involved in learning a new language. In the end, foreigners seeing as a big blessing that you, as a foreigner to them, get to be in a room with them and are interested in being in sharing the room with them. Foreigners will never judge you on the way you speak. If you ever get judged for speaking someone's language, that's because they probably themselves are ignorant and they are not interested in learning foreign languages. Always remember that you are doing something of great value. No one is ever going to judge you for this and you can definitely let yourself go freely and explore. Ultimately, it will feel so good if you came in with the mindset of being in this room with the foreigners and you feel so good of talking freely, of only being here, of committing errors because you know that every single mistake that you commit and gets feedback and gets corrected is ultimately a learning opportunity and is one step closer to reaching your goal. How good would it feel if you knew that that was the ultimate goal? How good would it feel if you believed in language learning, making a mistakes lead you to learning and therefore makes you a better speaker? Section 1 is done. Let's start with the meat on how to speak in a room full of people. Confidently, out of your comfort zone and freely. Firstly, in the beginning, you want to keep it simple, but also excel in speaking. Think of this scenario. You step foot into the country the language is spoken. What are the first 20 phrases that you would need to know to comfortably survive in that country? If you want, write those 20 phrases down for yourself and translate them in your target language or keep them in your native language. Notice how these essential phrases have a very simple structure. Less is definitely more, and obviously it's easier for you to learn phrases that you already know, that you already use, and you know how to use. Even if they are the simplest phrases in the world, like I want an apple. Nothing is wrong with simple phrases. Just start, because the sooner you start, the easier you're gonna be in the water. Now that you're in, continue to use and strengthen the muscle to effortlessly say those phrases. And when you really want to use them, they're already part of what you breathe. These small, manageable steps and every single phrase you learn builds your confidence in that language and you create ultimately who you are in that language. I want you to think of phrases that are part of your daily life. I want you to think you're in a restaurant. Choose phrases that you need to order. I want a coffee. I want a brioche. Where's the toilet? I like the color pink. Those phrases that are very basic, structured, and very simple to say. And I want you to build the muscle using those phrases over and over again out loud. Do it out loud, because then you practice assimilating them to a conversation that you could have in real life. I would like, for when that moment comes in real life, for you to perform that you use this phrase that you have practiced with a person that you like, that you trust and you know, so that it's much easier for you to use those phrases and for them to come out of your little mouth. Section 2 is done. Now let's go to a real life practice you can do today to improve your speaking right now. This one is one of my favorites, and I hope you like it, because this is the thing I've used for all of my language to practice them alone and to speak them fluently. It's to talk to yourself in the mirror or talk to an imaginary conversation partner. Do you remember? It always has to be out loud. What we want is, when the time comes for a real conversation, you are already prepared with those phrases. You are already prepared for this moment, and you have already experienced it among yourself. My clients even use this as part of their effortless language mastery evening routine. Here's what to do. I want you to take some moments to stand in front of the mirror. You can simulate a conversation, or you can tell yourself about your day. If you can do it even for 1 minute, it is perfect. This is going to tremendously build your conversation muscle. You will feel like you can enter and hold conversations easier now. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you can see your expressions. You can see how your mouth moves, including grimaces. Because believe, every time we change language, even our facial expressions change. You can not only speak or improvise, but you can also read out loud or speak after audio notes. It helps you realize that it is just as simple as communicating in your first language. And you will feel incredible once those automated phrases carry you into any room you want. Imagine you needed to learn your native language all over again. You would probably be glued to the mirror practicing how you're gonna talk to your family, clients, and friends again. Spend a couple of moments in front of the mirror talking about what you see, who you are, or about what you like. This insane mindset shift of talking out loud helps a lot to talk confidently, period. How do polyglots successfully talk in high stress areas? Well, they practice on their own in low stress areas. They all have voices in our head throughout our day that just keep on replay. Encourage yourself to say them out loud. Say you're doing the laundry and you're counting how many towels you have just folded. Count in your target language. Say you're in a cafeteria right now and you meet someone new. They ask you where you're from and they start having a conversation. Can you imagine how that conversation goes? Congratulations. If you can imagine how the conversation would go, you can also practice it at home. If you have been practicing at home, congratulations. Your training is finally paying off, and now every time someone new speaks to you and you just say something so automated, you've practiced something for so long and now it just slips out of your mouth, and you're saying, wow, look at this improvisation that I just did. Suddenly, when someone asks you about life, you're not frozen anymore. You can just talk and ramble about life. And if they're just brave enough to listen a little bit more, you will just tell them the whole heartfelt conversation you had with your mirror last night. Mirror knew first, and now the word knows too. We're done with this section. Before we go to the biggest golden rule, follow along with my journey on YouTube. Like and comment which language you're learning. And I invite you to 5 days of free language learning inside the Multilingual Premium Chat. Inside, we help you speak the basics of the language in only 5 days. The biggest golden rule in language learning is finding something you love and then doing it in the language that you want to learn. I want you to not see this foreign language as this super complicated foreign language that other people from the other side of the world speak, that I will never be able to speak, I will never be able to learn. No, I want you to see it as this. This is my French that I use for my series, and this is my Spanish that I use for my music, and this is my English that I use for my podcasts. I want you to make this language yours. Find something that you love and are passionate about, and then learn the language through this passion. That's the moment when you're going to emotionally connect to the language. Very easy, right? Find something you love, like music, podcasts, or hobbies, and then engage with it using your target language. Simple. For example, speak of Spanish as the language you use to engage with your Spanish music, with your dancing classes, and when you love what you're learning, it becomes less intimidating and more enjoyable. Find something you love and therefore make the language yours. Every day, everything that you can do in your own language, you can also do in the other foreign language. Now let's go to the most important part of the video. How do we speak confidently in real life situations? Take the initiative to start a conversation. Yes, it's scary, but breaking the ice puts you into control of where the conversation flows, and it makes it easier for you to engage. Start with simple phrases and let the conversation naturally flow. Soon you will discover that this becomes like second nature. But Katharina, how am I going to face this fear in real situations? I'm going to tell you now what you're going to do. You're going to be the first one to speak. I know it's going to be difficult to take that first step, but don't worry, you will be the owner of this conversation now, and you can start with simple things. As you practice, it's going to be easier each time to start a conversation. And when you least realize it, this knowledge of starting a conversation is already here and was already here all along. Because after all, you are already a native speaker and you are already a confident speaker in a language. After all, you already know what you have to say. Remember step 1, start with simple phrases and let the conversation naturally flow. You need to be the one that breaks the ice, that starts the conversation, because that is going to put you into control of where the conversation is going to flow. As you do this, you will be more practiced and therefore you will feel more comfortable. Do you see the sequence? If you don't have the opportunity to practice with native speakers, don't worry. You can use applications or artificial intelligence. So you can get the feels of being in that room already with native speakers. If you can practice, speak as much as you can. Talking to yourself, even when you can't talk to someone else. You can take a trusted person that you love very much and you know they're not gonna judge you. Even if they didn't understand you just yet, the idea is that counts. Keep practicing. Let me know in the comments on how it went. Here's the challenge I'm going to leave you with after this video. Listen, if you are very serious about speaking your mind in multilingual rooms, I want you to apply this challenge every second time you brush your teeth. Imagine a scenario that you could experience while traveling. Whether it is booking a hotel room or ordering at a restaurant, I want you to imagine a very specific situation, or it could also be a common situation. These are the ones that we should take in account for the most. These are the ones that we need to ask help quickly for. Choose one, either one, and try to simulate the conversation. Maybe at the beginning it won't work out very well, but little by little you will improvise and the conversation flow will improve. What I'm telling you to speak out loud is very good because you're gonna become so good at improvising. Believe me, when it comes to real life conversations, improvisation is a great skill to have in language learning. So if you start using these tips from day one, believe me, it's gonna become super easy and you're gonna see progress super quickly. Let's gain this confidence. Let's walk this path of language learning together. Remember, every single step you take brings you closer to fluency. Language learning isn't like mathematics where you need to have a base and then build upon it. No, it is like a big jelly house and everything you know will just stick on this jelly and it becomes just this massive place. There's no fixed structures. Everything is just changing, just like people are and conversations are. I want you to start doing everything above. In addition to those tips and speaking out loud, writing down phrases and then reading them is gonna help tremendously as well. You can also change up the accents and make little fun of it, like read it out loud as an Italian would speak in a restaurant. Along the way, you will be moving forward. You're wholeheartedly invited to start your transformation within the next 5 days. This is going to be a free of charge for you. It is completely on the house. And after leaving you with the mirror challenge, I want you to sign up quickly for the 5-day challenge. Right now is the time. I want you to get up, go to the mirror and practice speaking. Whatever you see, whatever you're feeling, I want you to use this for your daily life. Important thing is that you always continue speaking out loud. And little by little, you will start breaking down the barrier or fearing of speaking and actually entering rooms, speaking confidently and sharing your multilingual mind. If you follow this channel, you will come to realize that you can love languages and learning languages can be super fun. Remember that if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to this channel. Let's continue together on this path of language learning. Watch this video next and sign up for the 5-day language transformation. It is completely on the house. It is completely on the house.
Hey guys, I'm here to tell you why you should consider Kata as your language coach. Now, we did 1 month of Level Up Your German, and honestly it was the best thing I could have done for my German. I've never seen so much progress.
I responded to one of her posts and I think it probably came across that I was actually quite a frustrated learner, and I was at that point because I had been learning Spanish for 9 months. I was completely absorbed by this fluent in 3 months. I obsessively sort of watched those videos and I couldn't understand even with studying, why I wasn't there yet.
Just about work. Another reason is she's super flexible. So if you feel like something's not working, just talk to her and she will help you switch things up. She will help guide you along to a path that's actually more suited for you and your preferences and your situation. She is so encouraging. She will come and message you and see how you're doing in the challenge, and she will send you resources. She'll send you things that you could try. She'll send you little challenges that you can do if you really need the prompts, and honestly I think it's such a good thing to do.
What she showed then was that I didn't need another course. I had all the resources because I've obviously bought quite a few. There's also the internet, there's always YouTube and various other things, and actually I just need to take the resources I have and apply those to my goals, but make those goals exciting and interesting in order to sort of get that enthusiasm out. And it wasn't that I didn't have enthusiasm before, but it's just that connecting what you're reading and you're studying to something that's perhaps a bit more emotive to kind of make it stick in my brain. If you are not sure about going on a language coaching course, that's done more for me than picking up 3 different language courses.